Welcome to the closest thing that I will ever have to an actual cooking show. My name is not important, but you know what is important? Donuts. Today we're making apple cider donuts. I am so excited. I have never made this donut flavor before. I went through a phase probably like 4 years ago where I would make donuts like all the time. I've never made donuts that you like fry in oil, which personally I do prefer that kind of donut, but for when you're making donuts at home, I feel like cake donuts are easier because it's essentially just cake. I do recommend that if you are going to be making cake donuts that you get pans like this. I have two because most of the time donut recipes make a dozen or more, and I would rather have two of these than have to bake some and then wait and then empty this and then bake it again. You know what I mean? They're pretty cheap. They're probably maybe $10 a piece. If I can find them, I'll link them below or something similar. In the recipe that I am using, if you do not have these cake pans, it tells you that you can make these into apple cider donut muffins. Since I have this, we're making donuts. So the first thing that we have to do is reduce the apple cider down. What that does is make it into a thicker juice, I think. Also, what is the difference between apple cider and apple juice? Alexa, what's the difference between apple cider and apple juice? I don't have an Alexa, but I bet you do. So if I just set off yours and she answered you, can you just let me know what she says? What I'm gonna do is reduce this in a pan, and we're gonna start with 1.5 cups. But you want to leave it in there simmering until it gets down to 1/2 cup of apple cider. Let's go to the stove. All right, ladies and gentlemen, or no one. All right, so we got to get 1.5 cups in here. I just spilled that everywhere as usual. So this is going to be in here for a little while. My recommendation for reducing apple cider is hiking up the heat and just paying attention to it so it doesn't burn. This recipe, besides the cider, which is cooling back there, is relatively very easy and very short. So if you want to make this really quick in the morning, you could probably reduce that ahead of time, but don't take my word for it. All right, so now what we're gonna do is whisk all of our dry ingredients together. So I've already got 2 cups of regular flour in the bowl right here. We need 1 teaspoon of baking soda. What am I doing? 1 teaspoon of baking soda. What am I choking on? That seems okay. Do you guys remember when everyone was doing the cinnamon challenge? I did not do it. I was afraid to choke to death. All right, and then I think it says also a teaspoon of the apple pie spice. I read in the recipe that you can make your own apple pie spice if you can't find it pre-made in the store. I think it said you need cinnamon, nutmeg, and cardamom. And then 1/4 teaspoon of salt. You need to preheat the oven to 350. I forgot to. I'm gonna do it right now. All right, now whisk it all together. Now I think it's time to add the wet ingredients. Don't add them yet, just get them ready. So for the wet ingredients, we need melted butter, egg, brown sugar, granulated sugar, milk, and vanilla extract. Here's the butter, egg. We need 1/2 cup of packed brown sugar. It says that you can use light or dark. I have light. I think dark just has like more molasses in it or something. Do not fact check me on that. There we go. And then we need 1/2 cup of granulated sugar. Perfect. For some reason the milk needed to be at room temperature. I don't know why, but I do what I'm told. And then we need 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. This is the only essential oil that I need. And then we whisk all of these together. Anytime there's an egg in anything, I like to whisk it really well because I'm just always terrified of having chunks of egg in anything. I think I've mentioned before, but just something about me is I hate eggs. Let me tell you how inconvenient it is to not like eggs when you need to eat breakfast. Very. I think my New Year's resolution is going to be making myself like eggs. I'm just afraid. I just really would like to go to brunch or breakfast and have more options other than just pancakes. All right, so we're gonna marry these two together. And then we're also going to add the reduced apple cider. So I got it down to like almost half a cup. So I'm not gonna add all of it, but I'm gonna add most of this. One more little splash. Whisk away. So you're essentially just making cake batter. Wow, it smells so good. While we're whisking this together, let's discuss something. Apple picking. I've never done it, ever. I've always wanted to try it. I don't believe you can go apple picking where I live, unless you can get apples off of palm trees, but I think those apples are called coconuts. Oh, I need you guys to see this. Smell it. I can apple pick like at the grocery store, but that's not the same. Should we taste it? That's gonna be a good donut. This dough is really sticky, so once everything's mixed together, this comes together relatively quickly, and they only bake for like 10 minutes. This is amazing. See, if we were making fried donuts, we would have to make the dough, roll it out, cut it out, fry it. Would it taste better? Probably, but who cares? They suggest that you pipe it in, and the way that we're gonna do that is put the batter in a Ziploc, twist it up, and then cut the tip, and then we can do it. We are not afraid of this batter, we are not afraid of piping, and we are not afraid of failure. Okay, so we're gonna get it in here, and then we are going to pipe it. I guess pick one side that you want to be your side that you're gonna cut the hole. If you are a professional baker and you're watching this right now and what I'm doing is making you physically ill, I just want to say that I apologize, that I don't know what I'm doing, and that I never ever meant to hurt you. But odds are, if you are a professional baker, you are not watching this. So it says to fill each donut cup about halfway. Woo! All right, so what I'm gonna do is pop these in the oven. Woo. Nope. Are you kidding me? The recipe says that you should be able to touch them and they'll spring right back, and that is what they're doing. Some of them are definitely fatter than others, but that's okay. We love fat donuts in this house. I just need everyone to know that my house smells like a warm hug right now. What we're gonna be doing is coating the donuts in melted butter and then dipping them in the cinnamon sugar apple pie spice mix and then eating them. So we need 1 cup of granulated sugar. You know what? 3/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon, and then 3/4 of a teaspoon of the apple pie spice. Then whisk it all together. What a work of beauty. Okay, so I've transferred them all to a wire cooling rack that is on top of a pan, because what I'm gonna do that is different than the recipe is brush on the butter before I dip them in. The recipe says to just dunk the donuts in the butter, but I'm afraid that it's gonna get too oversaturated with butter. So I'm just gonna brush it. I'm gonna brush a couple, actually just one. I'm gonna brush one. Am I supposed to dunk both sides or we'll just do the top. Shut up. I wanna eat this right now. Are you kidding me? My husband could have proposed to me with this and I would have said yes. Let's try it. Oh my gosh. Now I'm gonna have to make this like every day. The beautiful thing about it is that it's not too sweet. I could not recommend these enough. Wow, these are so good. The texture is like sponge cakey. I'm gonna coat the rest of these while simultaneously trying not to eat them all at the same time, and then I'll get back with you. I would say that this was successful. I had donuts at my wedding instead of cake, so if that doesn't tell you how I feel about donuts, I don't know what else will. And this recipe is really easy. The only portion of the recipe that is like kind of annoying is reducing the apple cider, but I think it's worth it. I know this recipe wasn't super intensive, but I still think it was fun, and I hope that you had fun. I'm having fun in this moment. If you make these donuts, you'll have fun. Leave in the comments what your favorite donut flavor is, because I think that it says a lot about a person. I think my favorite donut is usually blueberry or a cronut. I hope you enjoyed making donuts with me. Please subscribe to my channel if you want to make other stuff with me. I am not a professional, but we'll have a good time anyway. Link for these are in the bio also. Bye! Get out of my house.